All right, we'll wait for one more minute and we'll start.
Sounds good.
Okay, I think we should start it. Hello, everyone. This is Damu Venkatesan from Data Science Virtual Chapter. I'm helping to moderate this session for Mark today, and you can, connect with me on LinkedIn if you have any questions or anything like that later, and also to Mark. We can post it on the website. So let's go through this June 2020 deck. Okay, and this year, the PASS Summit 2020 is virtual completely, so you can attend from wherever you are, and you can actually sign up for this. It's a paid event for 3 days, and it has 2 days of deep dive pre-conferences as well. So you can sign up with this PASS Data Science Virtual discount code to get some discount of it. It's VGDISC08A. That's the discount code. And this is a great opportunity for you to, deep dive into the different topics and sessions and all those stuff and learn more about it. And also, they're running a contest for one of the first attendees. If your payment will be refunded as a winner for this contest. And the call for speakers is actually closed, so there's no more acceptance of the speakers anymore. The June 17th, it's closed. And the partner website is Dell Technologies. They're providing Azure Stack and all the hybrid solutions for hosting the data on. In the future, in the near recent times, there's more virtual chapters running some sessions like virtualization, data architecture, cloud, and everything. So you can look it up on the virtual chapters, on individual virtual chapters sites and sign up there for those programs if you want to attend. And these are the different virtual chapters that is already in PASS. So you can attend, you can join any of them and then attend the sessions from there as well. And some of the virtual SQL Saturdays are happening, in the near future. One in June 20th, 27th, July 4th. So if you go to SQLSaturday.com, you can sign up there and attend from wherever you are. So you don't have to be present in the location to attend these SQL Saturdays, and there are great sessions in those areas in local languages as well. And if you're looking for a new career, or if you're a recruiter that wants to post a job, you can go to pass.org/careers.aspx. That's the site that you can go and look for these new careers or post job announcements. And and since you're already there, you can look up all the different sessions that are recorded on youtube.com/user/SQLPassTV. And you can connect on Twitter with SQL Pass at SQL Pass is a Twitter login. And that's it. And now I'm going to turn over the presentation to do what you're here for, to how to find low cost or free data science resources for you to make use of it with Mark. Hey, Mark, take it away.
Thanks, Damu. So Damu and I are both in the Atlanta area, and we've been friends and professional friends and known each other for many years. Damu has been such a great friend and gives so much of his time to the community. I am here to talk about free and low-cost data science resources And of course, happy to be here for the Past Data Science Virtual Chapter. We have about 4,000 members now, built that since 2015. And for today, we've had about 130 people register for this event. Of course, we make it available later on YouTube. So if you don't find anything immediately, or if I'm going too fast, because I'm going to be showing a lot of things, you'll have a chance to see the video later. And then also I'll be posting my deck to SlideShare, and you'll be able to download that there. So
And
just to start,
one more thing I
go
wanted
ahead.
to mention is if you have any questions, please put it on the questions tab on the panel, and we'll get to the questions as and when it's needed. So
Correct. And we'll be answering your questions. Damu's just as knowledgeable as I am about this particular topic, so we might both be answering later. But feel free to even now, if you have any questions, or as the presentation proceeds, go ahead and enter them. To start off today, I have an interactive poll, which I'm going to launch right now, and you'll be able to see that on your screen. And I will let that poll be open for about a minute just to measure what folks' interests are in free and low cost resources, and then we'll get into the presentation with some specific ideas.
yeah, please take a minute to vote on this.
Yeah, and I'm going to use this to know where to emphasize some of the comments I have for today. Okay, I'm going to close the poll and share that. So you should be able to see that now on what some of the goals are of folks here. And I feel like I have information in all these categories, although some of you may be very web savvy and already know a lot of these things. And hopefully I will have at least one good new takeaway. That's actually my goal. So even if you know about a lot of things, hopefully I will be able to add something new to your knowledge about that. So let me go ahead and turn my screen on. So as I go to that, hold on a second. Let's see, I'm gonna hide that. I'm gonna go to my screen there. All right, and I can see that the screen is up. So this is our presentation today, how to find low cost of free data science resources. Just to give you some context, as many of you know, I work for Microsoft. I'm a cloud solution architect, and that means I help our Microsoft's customers across the national scope, so that's national US, build enterprise solutions. I have a specific interest and focus in data science and AI. However, the scope of my work with Microsoft, it includes all types of big data and enterprise solutions. So that's where I'm coming from. And now, I'm going to start with the problems. What are the problems with fake free? And we see this all the time. I mean, so many of us get, telemarketers or, people trying to give us things for free. And, what are some of the problems here? Could be false or misleading content, second quality content, outdated content. Maybe they're asking for money for something that's totally free. And it's sad to pay for something that is completely free on the internet. And so certainly you want to avoid that. So there's some risk involved with fake free. And the way I like to approach this is thinking about the main economic idea about free. And you may have heard this phrase, follow the money. But it's possible to think through what people want when they're offering something for free or at a reduced cost. And I'll call out what we're doing right now. I mean, in this organization, we give things away for free. It is a community sponsored organization. So many thousands of people have been involved. You know, Damu and I are just a small part of a large organization here giving things away for free. We have some paid events. Damu mentioned our past summit, which is one of our major events that pay for us to be able to host things. But people give away their time. You know, Damu and I are volunteers in this context, so we're volunteering here to give something to the community. But that's true for all these free resources I'm going to say today. There's going to be some sort of reason people want to give away. And understanding that stated motivation is a pathway to understanding how to respect, you know, what is being there. So here's my main quality ideas. How do we know we're getting quality content? One is staying close to the source. So if we want to learn about Python, it would be great to learn from people who are contributing to Python, who are producing Python, contributing packages, that type of thing. If you want to learn about Microsoft, same thing. You want to learn from people who are at Microsoft or somehow are endorsed or Microsoft partners, you know, that type of thing. Second thing is to find sources with standards. And what I mean by standards is that there's some sort of review process. We see this in the open source community. I just called out Python, Spark's another project. You know, these major projects have a direction and they have a governing group that decides, you know, how and what is presented. Microsoft's no different. I mean, we have standards that we follow before we publish something on the website. The producers of something and their friends are the highest assurance. So if you can find who the producer of something is, those are the best places. But, you know, one thing I like to emphasize on the right side here is about developing your own roadmap. So, you know, Damu and I were talking about this earlier today. There's so much free stuff out there. You literally could be going to free stuff all year. Free training all year, seriously. Free books, free, you know, all sorts of free resources out there. So you just have to have your own goals. This goes along with what I had given in our last session we had for PASS was how to become a data scientist. One of my points was following your own passion and knowing what that map would be. Now, in the program description, I mentioned the Microsoft Team Data Science process. This is something that I have been a contributor to in Microsoft. We have a link here later that you can look at. Why I think this is important is because these, first of all, this is a description of the scientific method. And when I think about data science resources, just to let you know where I'm coming from, I'm thinking about sources that cover all these four areas. Now, I know that, for example, on training, I know a lot of people click training, and some people might be thinking modeling training, like supervised learning, unsupervised, deep learning. And I think that's true. I think that's part of it. But to me, data engineering, training on SQL, you know, SQL is one of the top 4 generation languages, or learning about deployment of models and, you know, maybe something like Kubernetes, it's used in Microsoft, or even learning about the business understanding cycle. And I'm going to have a resource, at least one resource for that. So I'm letting you know where I'm coming from. So letting you know, we're not just talking about modeling, which is what some people think of when they think data science resources, but we really want to hit all 4. Why? Because to me, this is complete scientific cycle, and especially for enterprise projects, we have to have all 4 active for successful engagements. All right, so here's my approach today. Beginner. Okay, so that's when you can just go in anonymously and go get resources. So the giver, whoever's a giver, what they want maybe is likes and clicks. And the intermediate, you might have to give your information. The giver may want your identity. Perhaps it might be low fee type activity. And that's, whoops, I'm sorry. I hit the mouse and it's scrolled all back. And then advanced trading information. And I had an item on our poll about being a producer. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but I'm not going to emphasize that. But this is an area where Damu and I are. It's advanced not in the sense of mathematically advanced. It's advanced in the sense of these are people who are giving their time and resources type sense. Okay. So here are some specifics. So now we're starting to get into specific examples, and I will be going to some, if not all of these examples as we have time. And my first secret is KD Nuggets. And if you don't know about KD Nuggets, it is absolutely, you know, when you look at the content and when you look at the freshness of KD Nuggets, it's just amazing. And I have been connected to KD Nuggets, you know, just as a consumer mostly for so long. And let me just go to one link here. So as I go through these links, you'll get a chance to see what some of the information is here for these events. So here we are, and came up here to KD Nuggets News. And you know, immediately you can be on the emails. You see that signing up here. But here we have a whole list of free, high quality machine learning and data science books. And again, this link is in the deck, so don't feel like you have to, you know, copy the URL right now. You'll be able to see the link in the deck, and I'll be posting that deck today. So, so there's all these links here. 10 free must-read books for machine learning and data science. Now, there's so many websites out there. Again, a lot of them, you wonder, is this clickbait? You know, and I don't actually know if there's a lot of advertising on here at all. In fact, I don't see a lot. But KD Nuggets I've used a lot to further my own understanding of data science. And let me just click this link, just go here. This is a post from 2017, and these are some books. So here are the actual books that are free. And I know one that Elements of Statistical Learning. I mean, this is a great book, and you can get that one for free. Springer. I know I bought my own copy. You know, I love books, and it was such a well-produced book. And I think I may have paid $50, $60 back in the day. But the authors decided to give it away for free. So these are, and then Deep Learning book I'm going to bring up later. This one you could buy in hard copy format, but they're making it all available on the web. So these are great books that are available. And so these are examples of already some places to go for something free. So KD Nuggets, even you just go into the search box here and type in free, and you can even do that right now. Just go to kdnuggets.com, type in free, and then just see what's available. I know a lot of people here, based on the poll, are interested in courses, so let's look at this list from 2018. And again, factor in the date. It's not exactly recent, but it may be, you know, you still have to go through and look at these links and see where they are now. Some of the great sources here, MIT. MIT is a good brand name in the data science world. You can find out something about that. Stanford University. FastAI's outstanding source for lessons. And, you know, you can click through here. I'm not going to click through to any of these because right now we're focusing on KD Nuggets. But you can see some of the examples here of different schools and places to take. So right here, I mean, this is just a lot of free stuff. I think it's good to kind of skim what's available because there's actually so much out there that's free, and then come to your own understanding about what you want to do for free. And in fact, in addition to 10 free, here's 10 more must-see free, and then another 10 free must-see courses. So we have, you know, a number of courses here available. The reason I recommend KD Nuggets is, you know, I know the producer, Gregory Shapiro. So he is active on Twitter. I think we can go to Twitter for a second. So the Twitter website here is, oh, you know what, let's sign up. Okay. And I think it was cool. I learned in this last week that KD Nuggets, I mean, they have an amazing number of followers, but they're following me. So I think that was pretty amazing because I actually don't think I'm kind of in the middle of, you know, known people and data science and AI, but that's still kind of cool. All right, so that's the first one here with KD Nuggets. Let's go back to the talk. Toward Data Science. Now, this is a great site. This is more like a blog. That's what I would call it. And they have a lot of articles in different categories. Now, the point I have here, now again, knowing where I'm coming from, this is not necessarily going to be a list of courses, but this is a place to go to read articles on latest topics. All right, so if you're looking for a good source, it's not the only one, but it's a good source where you can find out what is new or what are some of the new developments or explaining some of the advanced concepts in data science, machine learning, AI. This would be a good website. And I'm noticing here this this little graph is moving with the two overlapping distributions. And I think this would be the t-test if I'm going back to my statistical background correctly to try to find if there's a statistically significant difference in the two distributions based on their mean and standard deviation. And that's what that graph would have to do with. So here's a great article. I happen to live in Atlanta, so I have often pointed people to Georgia Tech's master's degree program. And if you're looking for a master's degree program, I'd say check it out. Now, I'm not going to click this link. I'll just let you know this article is here. And it's the example of the types of content you can find on Towards Data Science. They talk about different things, and you can see what some of the topics are. It's not all going to be about modeling, but again, coming back from my perspective I gave earlier, I feel that when you're working in, especially a large enterprise project, you really have to think through all the aspects. How to get the most out of Towards Data Science. That's a great article right there because they produce a lot of content. All right, let's go to the next one. GitHub. Now, I think GitHub is a place where, GitHub, I'm going to call it one of the secrets. A lot of people don't know that there are people who are making GitHub repos that are just simply lists of resources. And so let's go to that. And in fact, this is linking toward an article that's in here. It's inside Toward Data Science, but look what it is. It's top 10 popular GitHub repositories to learn about data science. So this would be, and this was published April 18th, so it's relatively new. And I've known about some of these, and what will happen periodically is I will retweet or put on my social media feed some of these resources to make them available. So let's just go to the first, let's go to maybe a few of these because we're looking at GitHub now. So we want to see what's in GitHub and Awesome Data Science. So this is an open source data science repository to learn and apply toward solving real problems. All right, look at this. Someone went through a lot of effort to categorize resources into different categories here. And what is data science, colleges, newsletters. I'm going to go to MOOCs because I know a lot of people are interested in training courses. So already here, someone in this first one has already linked some of the sources I like. Coursera's in here, and Udacity's in here, and some of these other courses. So there's a lot of courses here. I know that it doesn't necessarily say on this page whether these things are free or not. So I'm not going to promise if you go to here that you're going to find free stuff. There are some things that I can already call out as being free. Data.gov is an excellent source of free data. If you're working on projects and you want to be able to merge data from the US government, you'll be able to find a lot there. And that's not the only one. There's so many other public big data sets out there, and Kaggle data sets are free. And there's a New York taxi data. How many demos have I built based on that data set? You will see Irvine. I mean, that's a great free source. So that is just one of 10. And again, going back to the article, you'll have a link to this in the slide deck. There's that one, and then there's 9 more. So I think, again, knowing that that's available, you can, you might even want to do some of this yourself. You might want to make your own list of things. I don't want, how many people have forked this? Oh, look at that, forks, 3,000 forks off of this list. So people are finding value in sharing information there on GitHub. Okay, Stack Overflow. Again, this is a great one. This is for anonymous again. So Stack Overflow is one I use for answering specific technical questions. So again, thinking about what is free. Sometimes you have a question of how to use something. And even as you're going through this, or even if you're taking a class and you want some technical help, it's great to go to Stack Overflow. And I'm going to let you know too, Microsoft, we have our own forums that are internal. You could log in, but we also have a lot of our product teams are monitoring Stack Overflow. Why? Because a lot of the questions about the technology go straight here. So you can go in here and you can ask questions, and the first thing it's going to do is search. So it's going to search and see if there's an answer already out there for you. And again, in the category of free and low cost, and let me tell you what, to contrast with Stack Overflow, what costs money. If you were a certain type of Microsoft customer partner, you could pay for some types of annual service contracts, and you get a team that's got a service level agreement, and they have to respond a certain amount of time, help you with your problem. And that is what you get by paying. You go to Stack Overflow and you post a question. Maybe somebody knows the answer, maybe they don't, and kind of random. But one thing that's good about this website is it's points driven. So if you don't know about that, there's people motivated by those points to answer questions. So usually the response time is pretty quick. Stack Overflow is a great way to ask questions and have those answered free.
Hey, I've got a couple of questions. Do you want to stop for a minute? Then
Sure.
okay. So one is regarding what about resources such as 365 Data Science?
365 Data Science. Is that the question?
Yeah. So 365datascience.com.
Okay. Here, learn data science with our training programs. So first of all, it's a .com. So I wonder if this is gonna, I'm gonna go straight to the pricing. And yeah, I mean, there are so many, well, first of all, there's a free channel. And I think a lot of providers of training will have some sort of free plan. And, it's worth to see on a lot of these websites, what do they have for free before you might want to go into paid channel. But yeah, I mean, I would consider looking at different training providers. And that, to me, this would fall in the content of a commercial training provider. So I think and when I went to that earlier list, some of the courses that I was mentioning here in the GitHub list, the college courses or whatever, a lot of these things are free. Now, I'm looking at this list now, and I'm going to tell you, it is not going to be free to get a degree. So I'm not going to make that claim. However, I will make the claim that if you go down here to the MOOCs, a lot of these links are free. So you're going to have your free path, and then you're going to have maybe a paid path to get more of a formal training. So yeah, that's certainly one to look at.
Okay, and another question there is how do you determine the best path for becoming a data scientist?
That's a great question, and we did a talk last month on that. So I'm going to refer you to our talk because beyond my limited knowledge, I invited several other panelists to join us on that talk. So I'm going to let you show where that is. You go to the data science paths.org, which is our website. You go to meeting archive, and you can see some of the past events we had. And so okay, now, you know what, in terms of calling out free, and we'll get to this in a second. So let me hold on to that, and I'm gonna come back to that once I trip over it, okay, at the path site. I'm gonna mention deep learning book. There is, and by the way, this is under YouTube. So YouTube is actually a good source, but I'm going to show you something from this deep learning book, and we're going to get back to the past website in a second. Inside here, this is the deep learning book. I was mentioning this earlier. You have the entire book here online, electronic, and yeah, you can order a physical copy if you want. But what I found interesting is when I went to external links, and I found this link for videos. What's happened is that there's this group, actually this one woman who's got these long sessions, and they're like book clubs. So you can see how long they are. They're like an hour long sessions. Some of these are almost like an hour and a half. That one's like 2 hours. But basically what they're doing is they're talking about the deep learning book. So you have the book, but then you can go to YouTube and then you can watch the video for free on this topic. Why am I pointing this out? This book is one of the most complicated books on data science. And right here, you have some really excellent content from people who are having a discussion. It's not the only place. I'm not suggesting it's the only place, but when I said earlier about the friends of the producers, they found it merit to link this resource that they think there's substantial value in going here. And you can see also how many people have looked at that. Okay, so I'm gonna, moving on to beginner at Microsoft. We have our own channel 9. So Microsoft has a video channel. And I'm calling out one thing. There's sometimes somebody will do a series, and these are typically presented by Microsoft employees, sometimes by friends of Microsoft. Okay, so it's, but it is free. And this one here is Python. Look at this, 1 of 44. So this got like 44 things on Python. This one's only 4 minutes, but you can see that some of them are 3 minutes, 2 minutes. All this content's free on terms of Python for beginners. I would recommend this course because this was well thought out in terms of its content and flow. And of course, you can see what the topics are by making the topics so small that if you already know about one of the topics, you could skip it or even do it as a refresher. And I'm not, and just letting you know, in enterprise data science, I am not coding all day. I am doing all the other things that are on that panel, including business discussions, deployment discussions. So I often have to go through refreshers myself to remind myself of things I used to know about. So channel 9 is a good one. Second thing, Microsoft documentation. So check this out. Right now, okay, so this is the actual documentation for the team data science process, and you can learn out more about that from that link. But if you go to learn, no, actually, I'm going to do learn later. Hang on. So we're going to go, let's go back to the deck. Now we're going to talk about PASS. So I will go back now to the PASS website that I had already brought up. So sorry to slip the order, but we're trying to keep it organized with the slides. We have our past sessions going back to February 2015. So you can see all the sessions we've had. I don't know if we have video for all of them because actually we had some technology changes over time, but we did capture my double-double. This is the 4 presentations. I did two 2-hour blocks, 2 days in a row. That was a double-double. And we did that in June of last year. I'm gonna have to do that again because this was a great turnout for a series. But I'm going to answer the question, how to become a data scientist. We had an excellent panel conversation about that, and it was in June. So if you go there and you click that link, and then this is again in our meeting archive, you can see the link to our YouTube video. So I certainly recommend going there to get some guidance on that. Damu mentioned virtual chapters and SQL Saturday. And again, I would just, go around this website and see what you find in terms of content. This is produced, this is a .org. So the intention here is to provide free and low cost things, period. Okay, there are things that cost money in PASS, and we also value the many sponsors that want to sponsor our events, knowing that because of the quality and range of content, we're able to attract a lot of technical sponsors for these events, including Microsoft that will sponsor certain types of events. So that's what the economic trade-off is here, is producing quality content and getting those sponsors. And Damu, who's on this call, we both have worked producing SQL Saturday events. Meetup is a good place to look for free and low cost things. There are now, granted, right now, many groups are not meeting because a lot of areas are shut down. However, many of them have gone to virtual meetings. So this is a way to find out that possibility. Again, I put it, I put these meetup and pass into the intermediate category because you have to register for these. I mean, you can't just surf in, but you get on the list. And if you don't want to be on the list, like even for pass, just opt out or completely, disconnect your account. The same thing for Meetup. You can just disconnect from groups that you're no longer interested in. Okay, there are some free things available. And again, there's this one link I have here for getting some free courses from MIT, Columbia, Stanford, Harvard, Berkeley, and they are free, but in a lot of cases, again, they're going to ask you to sign in at least. And so, that's something beyond just being anonymous. And then the MOOCs, the Udacity, edX, Coursera are examples of that. And those are links earlier. I think it's cool to connect to people on LinkedIn as an example and connect with producers. And I went through my own list and I wanted to see at these different companies how many people I'm connected to. Microsoft, it was like over 1,200. I'm connected to like 65 people at Google, 165 at Amazon, AWS, Databricks, one person at Alibaba. So I'm always connecting with people. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Going to LinkedIn itself and just making an account and watching the news feed is a way to learn a lot of new things. And you would think, like, I work at Microsoft, I get so much internal email. Sometimes I learn about something that happens at Microsoft by reading my LinkedIn feed because that's the first place I saw it. So, and a lot of the reasons too is our marketing group, they're very efficient. They're very efficient in getting the word out on a public announcement. So they'll go to LinkedIn and post it. And of course, LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft. So we're really one company, but LinkedIn is operating as a separate unit. So, they would use, Microsoft uses LinkedIn, blogs, all different type of social media to get news out, news press releases. Okay, within Microsoft, now there was a topic in the team data science process about business understanding. And what I recommend for that is this AI business school. So let me close some of these windows here as we're surfing through the others. Okay, AI business school. This is free, completely free, but you'll have to log in. I think make an account because it's got like coursework, and it shows you a process here of how to manage AI in a business or organizational setting. This is of use to someone who, not just a data scientist, but someone who's an architect, someone who is a director manager, someone who's an executive, organization, really the entire team. That is the first part of the team data science process. And I'm going to make this claim too. When people are not organized together on their business goals, that's when they face the most serious challenges. It's really not the math challenges, because the math challenges, either you can do it or you don't. Either you got the data or you don't. How to tell that narrative and how to plan for deployment is a process that's important. So this course here, this is a combination of reading and short videos. I've done it myself. I did it in, I think it was fall that I did it, this last fall. So I think it's an excellent way to understand AI as applied to business. If you've been to business school, graduate business school, you'll see many of the same types of themes and content, but the value here will be it's updated for AI. And a big value is that there's no exams, okay? There's no exams in this school. There is a completion that you can have with it, but it's not really about exams or points and that type of thing. It's more about the content. So if you think about it more as a kind of an interactive blog, that's what this nature of this content is. Okay, and then Microsoft Learn, you would have to log in for this. The reason is because it keeps your progress. So this is Microsoft's way to learn. I am aware, in this audience, we have people, like I said, I have friends at Amazon, I got friends at Google. There are other learning paths for those technologies. What I'm presenting here is Microsoft's path. So go look for the other ones too, because you may find some value there and what is available. But you can see here, just going down here, you can have a learning path, and you'll have to log in to make this active because it's going to keep track of your progress. These are not really like, there might be short quizzes in here, but it's not like there's going to be a final exam or, a lot of work or that type of thing to do these learning courses. And a lot of them are short. They give you an estimated time for how long different courses will take. This one here in Azure Fundamentals, I think is good for people who are new to Azure. But we have ones inside this learning path of 9 hours. There's actually smaller courses like this one, and they tell you how long they take. And then by logging in, it will track your progress and show you what you've completed and what you have not. So that's the advantage there. And certification, something you could pursue. There's several in the area of data science, and then watching live and recorded events. Microsoft has a lot of conferences, and pretty much all the information that gets recorded is shared back on the website, because that's the way to give people the latest information. All right, now I'm going to do just a little short emphasis here on producing. I know a lot of you are not here to become a producer, but Katie Nuggets has a pathway for you to contribute to that website. Who's this going to be of interest to? This is going to be an interest to if you have a consulting business. For many years, I had my own business that I ran, MarkTab Inc., and that was a major thing I did for many years. So I found ways to give back to the community. Even the website Toward Data Science, they're looking for writers. PASS, we're always looking for presenters. Our chapter, this chapter, we're looking for presenters. And there's always ways to volunteer. GitHub is a way to produce. You can fork a repository, improve it. You can work with a repository to improve the content. I recently did one. If you look up my GitHub on some training that I found, and you can see some of the changes that I recommended for a training course there. It had to do with Azure Machine Learning. Stack Overflow is a way to participate, meet up. I need to tell a story here. It was years ago, I was interested in data mining technology, and I started going on Microsoft forums to learn more about data science. And this is probably about 10 years ago. So I was reading a lot of questions and answers. It was similar to Stack Overflow, but it was a Microsoft forum. And what happened was I noticed some of the questions were not being answered. So I decided, as I was going to read other, answers, that I would start answering questions. And after doing that for a few months, that got the attention of some people at Microsoft and said, hey, do you want to do some other projects? Now, of course, for the grand total of 0, I mean, those are volunteer projects, but I thought it was cool to try to be a producer. One of the advantages of doing that, this is the edge. So if you're looking to make yourself known in the social media world, this is a way to gain the edge, because this clarifies what you have to trade. A lot of these things that I talked about earlier, they are looking for people who are willing to give their time to produce something for free. Or, some of them might be compensated. I think that's rare. And in any case, unlikely, in my viewpoint, that you're going to make a serious living by producing content. Usually it's just a calling card toward other types of things that you have in mind, which are more paid events. But again, a lot of people give things away for free. So in business, it's really not possible to make everything paid. And I know someone asked that question earlier about the 365 website. They are giving something away for free. And you'll find that true from all commercial providers are going to have some sort of free side to whatever it is, maybe as a sampler or a trial limited subscription. We do it at Microsoft. You can get a trial subscription to Azure for 1 month, just using a specific email. And that's a way for you to try out Azure for free. And it's got actual money that is funding that program toward learning about Azure. One way that I was involved in helping the Microsoft community is becoming part of the Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Community. I'm going to mention that here because some of you might not know about this, but there are people who are chosen by Microsoft, people who are really giving things free in the community, become part of the Most Valuable Professional Community. I just told you the story of how I was first known. We're answering questions on the forum. And then later on, I got to speak at conferences. And no promises, no promises on where this road could lead. Should you be one of a few chosen people into this program. This is an award program. So these are not employees, but they're awarded based on activity. And they need to continue to produce activity to continue to renew that award every year. Tomorrow, July 1, is a special day. And the reason is because that's the day when all the MVPs will find out if they are awarded for the coming year. A lot of them will make mention of that either on LinkedIn or Twitter. And a good thing too is that this group of people are giving things away from free. So you could go here, you can find MVPs by topic or in geography locations. Sometimes when I've organized events, I've gone to this list to find people who want to present sessions. And Damu and I, have been involved in organizing conferences. This list is a great list to go find presenters. Why? Because they want to present and it helps them toward their annual renewal. It's, there's no one thing that contributes to that, but this is something that they're motivated to do. When I was part of the first of all, I'm not eligible anymore because I work for Microsoft. But when I was part of the program, what I got for free was a full MSDN subscription and some Azure credits. So I got a lot of Microsoft stuff. And during the course of the year, they would send me stuff. And in fact, I got so much stuff, like I'm always giving away stuff. And Damu knows this, like in our local group, I keep getting backpacks, cups, mugs, all sorts of stuff from the program. How many mugs do I need? How many t-shirts? How many polo shirts? So I end up giving that away as giveaways or something at talks. But this is, again, might be something you might want to do. So let's go back to the main ideas here. And let me see, going to the questions. I'm going to pop out. Okay. If you have any other questions, go ahead and type them in now because I'm coming on to my last slide. Think through what people want when they offer something for free at a reduced cost. Okay, at the beginner level, a lot of producers, what they want is likes or clicks, and they may have advertising too, so they might want you to click their advertisers. But there's stuff out there that's free, and we're talking about staying away from the clickbait free or heavily, there's sites out there that have a lot of advertising to content, like the advertising content ratio is so high. And I think hope you agree that what I've shown today has a relatively low advertising component, a high quality, and not just high amount of content, but high quality of content. And identity intermediate, this is where you begin to be able to network. So joining organizations like PASS or going to local meetup groups, those are great ways to not only get free stuff, but also find out things that are free. And by the way, I didn't mention, Damu and I have been involved in so many SQL Saturdays. I've seen so many amazing gifts. Now, we're not having the conferences right now, but when we were meeting and when we had sponsors, we would have, Atlanta was one of the largest areas too. I think we had something like 900. Damu, was it like 900 people that came to the last SQL Saturday we had up there in Alpharetta?
660, actually 900, more than 1,000 registered and 660 showed up.
Okay, so it was 660. That was a really strong showing. I think that was like our largest national event. Some of the gifts that you would see, and Damu, you can call me out if this is wrong. I saw $100 gift cards. I've seen Xboxes. I've seen drones. I've seen full subscriptions to $2,000 licensed software. And in addition to the T-shirt everybody gets, just even for walking in the door, goodie bag, and then just a lot of free stuff that vendors will give away in the table. Everybody can win. And we've just had some really good corporate sponsors that use these events to promote their products and services. So it really does feed on itself in the second category when it's clear that you have free stuff being given away, but it's supported by sponsors, right?
Yeah.
And then this last category here is when somebody wants to become a producer. So how could you become a producer? Having a YouTube channel, opening a blog, doing something on GitHub, answering questions on Stack Overflow, writing for Towards Data Science. There's many different ways. You don't have to be a public speaker to give something of value to the community. And here's what I'm suggesting. Here's what you can do. Somebody gives you something free, write a thank you. Write a thank you to whoever gave that website. If you see value in that, you can often contact the people, even connect to them on LinkedIn. And I think that's a good thing. I do it all the time. I find people who are contributing to the community, and I'll send them a connection request. Some people are very much into LinkedIn, so it's good to do that. It's good to refer. So if you work with people and you find hopefully you've learned at least one new secret thing that you've found today. And if you have a Twitter account, I'd love for you to share what you have on Twitter, and you can tag me, Mark Tabnet. Or if you want to share anything secret you've learned about today, go right to LinkedIn and write a post on it if that's your thing. But making a referral or promotion, if you're on social media, is a good thing for anything that you find that's really cool and new from today. And so in that way, you become part of the free economy. So becoming part of the free economy, when people see that there's interest and there's referrals and promotions, they're more motivated to continue to give away free stuff. Okay, so I think that's okay, somebody here and said, I want an Oculus VR headset, and that is so amazing. That's incredible. That's an incredible gift to get. I don't, Damu, can you remember, Damu and I are often producers, so we often don't enter these contests. But Damu, what are some of the things you've won? I mean, we've gotten t-shirts and polo
One time, I
shirts.
think back in 2010 or 2011, I won an MSDN subscription.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
for a year.
for a year.
Yeah,
And isn't that the value of
that
that?
was like
Something
when I
like,
was, just an attendee at that time.
okay.
Yeah,
And the cool thing to get something like that, that's like was that a $2,000 value?
yeah,
What was the value of
something
that?
like that. Yeah,
Geez.
2000 or something, a little more than that, in fact.
Yeah. And so, I mean, to come to a conference and get something like $2,000 value, I mean, it just shocks. And
I mean,
that
so
was,
much of learning and so much of networking opportunities with other people and all those stuff. So it's pretty good.
yeah, Damu, so you've seen my talk here. I mean, what do you have to add based on your experience?
I think you covered pretty much a lot of things. One thing
Mhm.
that I would add is probably look at Kaggle.
Oh yeah,
That's
Kaggle.
another place. Yeah, it's another place that you can um, learn a lot of stuff from it.
Yeah,
So,
that's a great call out. So Kaggle, for those of you who don't know, it is a competition website, but really, and I've seen it grow over time since I found out about 8 years ago, it's not just about competition, it's also about learning. And so they'll have like their own courses here, notebooks that they share data sets. So Kaggle has become a community for sharing best practices, not just the competition, which is really what they're best known for. So, and then discuss. So that's some sort of interactive. Let me touch this ... All right, so here we have other things here. There's a blog. I really haven't looked at Kaggle lately for all these areas, but I think this is a great call out to see what's available here with Kaggle. So here is the claim inside Kaggle. You find all the code and data you need to do your data science work. Use over 19,000 now public data sets and 200,000 public notebooks. And so that's just amazing. I know I was looking at this website recently. Again, like I said, I wasn't studying the website, but I know for sure we're redoing the New York taxi data set analysis. And I found a few notebooks because we were trying to do a demo for a customer. But I found some notebooks in here that were relevant for that topic. By 200,000, I'm serious. So if you're in the middle of a course and you need like code, or you're looking for notebook ideas, or either for a purpose of a course, or maybe my use case now is just to show things to customers. So this is a great call out.
All
I would
right.
look at this too. Okay, well, great. So I will pass back control to Damu as I go here. Let me
Yeah, thank you very much,
shine.
Mark, for the great presentation, for these resources you shared. And if anyone has any more questions, please post it to the question panel, and we will get that answered. Otherwise, we can close the call. Thank you very much for attending, and hope to see you at the PASS Summit pretty soon. And we'll have more sessions in the data science virtual chapter as well scheduled, and we'll send an email to you guys to come and attend. So if you guys want to speak, please let me know. We can schedule it. It'll be great. Okay. For you. Presentation. All right, I'm going to close the call, and thank you very much. Appreciate your attending today.